And while you're a diver, just seeing it, the way it's filmed, it feels real. It feels like you're in there. And I have to say, today it opens in theaters. I know it's a short run. The clock is ticking. You have a week to see it if you have a theater that's playing it. I recommend you see it that way.
I loved this movie. I remember this happening, but just like the selflessness, the hopefulness this movie gave me, it just felt so good. I want to hear from you guys what you remember about this event, and what stuck out to you the most. Joel?
I remember that they got these kids out. I remember these kids were stuck in there and it looked like there was no way. And then they were out and they all lived, which seemed like a miracle, which it was. But I had no idea how they did it. And most people don't know exactly how they did it. And that's a lot of what the movie's about. Not just in the cave, what the divers did, but what all the Thai people did on the mountain, just hundreds, thousands of people. It was a collective, like you say, it gives you hope for humanity, like we can do good things. That collective, selfless effort, that was the amazing thing about the story. And that's what we really explored and tried to get right.
I still remember an event like 4 years ago when, actually me as a Thai person, I'm not know every detail also. And when the first time that I read the script, it's like, oh my God, some detail is like, it's not even public. It's not even like published in the news, in everything. So it's like, it's my first time exploring that event again. So it's amazing.
I know this sounds silly, but I remember exactly, being glued to the television for a good month, as Viggo was saying, like, I knew that there was a bunch of children lost, and that I think brought everybody collectively around the world, put everybody's heart into hoping that the outcome would be good. And it did look good. And then that it took 10 days to find them was the next big sort of world plot point. Then this question of the impossibility of getting them out and the debate around that. And then they were suddenly out. And again, like everybody else involved, even here, I didn't know the mechanics of how they got out. And even though I've been through the process of making the film and I've seen the film, every day I think about it, the miracle that rescue was and the collective effort that it was continues to blow my mind.
It's like watching the movie, it really makes you understand how they did it. Cause like, I'm like an avid diver and I'm like, why can't they just go in there and get it just didn't make sense to me. And then you're watching the movie and you're like, oh my gosh, like this was so life or death for everybody that went into that cave.
And the tragedy of Saman, in his effort to bring wetsuits into the boys, him perishing in that cave, I think really underlined the fact for everyone there and the rest of the world watching that it wasn't a simple task of just teaching a bunch of young boys to dive their own way out of there, knowing some of them couldn't even swim. And if a Navy SEAL of such a high level of skill could really sadly perish in that cave, then, I mean, it really just made me think this may be impossible to get them out.
Yeah.
And while you're a diver, just seeing it, the way it's filmed, it feels real. It feels like you're in there. And I have to say, today it opens in theaters. I know it's a short run. The clock is ticking. You have a week to see it if you have a theater that's playing it. I recommend you see it that way because it really is one of those movies that unquestionably is an entirely different experience seeing it on a big screen. So I hope you can go see it.
Totally agree. On that note, I've got to go. Thank you guys so much for your time and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Ash.